All right, and welcome to the Brand Couch, and we are back after a long break. I'm lucky to have Sigrun Rodrigues with me today, and she's from a company called Ardoq, but I think you can introduce yourself. Welcome to the Brand Couch.
Thank you. Yes, of course I can. Well, I've been working with Ardoq for a couple of years now. It's a Norwegian scale-up, and we started in 2013. So we are in the space of digital transformation, but within a niche within that space.
All right, I'm going to stop you right there.
Yeah.
So digital transformation seems like an incredibly big field. And then it's also that question, like who doesn't do digital transformation? So what do you guys do specifically, and what is different with your company when you compare it to, like, say, other digital transformation companies?
Ardoq is reinventing a space called enterprise architecture, which is a niche within transformation.
Okay.
So it's actually what we've created is a tool to manage your change, and so you can change with confidence from a data-driven perspective. And it's actually changed across the organization, so it's not looking at just specific areas of the company, but it's actually trying to take the whole company into consideration, like both your technology and your people and your processes and everything that is affecting the organization, so that you can know what it looks like today and how you can change it for the future.
Very cool. So you global?
We are global.
Very global.
Very global. We have customers across the world, but of course, being a Norwegian scale-up, we decided we had to focus. So we're focusing now on EU and the Nordics, UK, Ireland, and the US and Canada.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. All right. So obviously it is digital transformation, which is a big pond.
Yes.
It is B2B,
Yeah.
right? It is technology. So all of these things, usually when you then go, branding, people will go like, but it's all sales and stuff. So how's your perspective on B2B branding when it comes to running a, niche tech brand?
Yeah, so it kind of goes back to what you said, that there are lots of different companies doing digital transformation. But I think when it comes to branding, you need to know your audience. So that's super key. And for us, it's the enterprise architect. And by really understanding who is it that wants to buy your brand and like your brand, and who is important for you to attract, just like creating the content that really is appealing for them. So for Ardoq, it's great to have such a niche, because it helps us really target our audience.
It's very
really
specific,
well.
isn't it?
It's very, very specific. And we know that the ones that we want to attract is those that go for automation and data-driven change. So we can really kind of drill in on that when we go down the funnel in our marketing.
So essentially what you're saying, you're building that brand within that niche, right?
Yes.
So if you were to step outside that niche, people may not actually ever heard of you.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Cool. Yeah.
And I think a really good tactic that was done, that was before I started, but so in order to really find that market and get into that specific market, there was a very proactive approach to reach the analysts within that space. So getting into the Forrester Wave and the Gartner Magic Quadrant has been super, super important for us.
Right.
So that means that you can really get like a good traction within that space, within that niche. And then we know that doing digital transformation really is a C-level occupation. Like, change across the company is not for one enterprise architect in a company. We need to also speak to the C-level, and that's when it becomes tricky, because that's when you start fighting against Microsoft and Amazon and those big players. So being really good with digital marketing, finding your niche has been super important.
Obviously, this is a brand couch, right? So we're talking about brands and how people do things. And we had Lauren here from Air Things, right? Which is both a B2C and B2B company, and all tech and software and everything, and hardware. But is there any sort of specific activities you do for sort of lifting that brand? Is there something that you feel like, we do this and that works really well, or experiences around that?
We find that it's hard for anyone outside enterprise architecture to understand that domain.
Right.
We're now actually working on some animation videos to tell the founding story. Because the founding story is very closely connected to our brand and our culture and what we're doing.
Very transparent, sort of real life, tangible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I have one question which we neither talked about before. Why is it called Ardoq?
Oh. It was my choice. No, it was from the origin of what the tool was supposed to be back then.
Right, so, cool. But there's a story to it.
There is a story to it, but we don't really want to go into it because that's not what we are anymore.
Okay, but then it's still relevant.
It's got to do with documentation of course to do.
Inside, there's always this talk about inside-out branding, right? It's about culture, the people, and the technology, and the engineers, and how you put all that into a marketing message, etc. But like, how do you guys do it? I mean, you're a scale-up. Obviously, it's both very, very cool, both messy. It's everything at once, right? You just got a new investment, which is also fantastic, very cool. So you're going to get ready for scaling more. How do you work with the internal part of the brand?
I would say we have quite a strong culture, and it's what we did maybe a year and a half ago. We went inside the company to our customers, and we looked at the values of the company. And we've really, and they're bold, caring, and driven.
Oh, nice.
And I think the bold and the driven, they're quite obvious from the company we are, the scale up,
that's kind of what you are anyway.
Yeah, that's what we are. But the caring one is really interesting, and that's really coming from one of our founders, I think. Mainly, he's he also started a company called Miles.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And Magnulf, and he's been a big promoter of the culture aspect of the company. Yeah.
But then he's very sort of democratic, right? Isn't Miles a company without any leaders? Ish, or without a manager or something like that? It's very democratic, flat.
It's very much so. So that caring element has been really important for us, both when we're hiring people, when we in our marketing, the way we interact with everyone in the company. So I think that is something that is really people feel and they associate with, and that's strong in the company. So yeah.
Very cool. So, and we're about to round off because obviously we could talk about this for a few days, but we have like 10 minutes. So, just to go back a little, because you've been in Microsoft, you've been in different tech companies before. Now you've been with Ardoq for how many years?
2 years.
2 years. So
soon 2 years.
Soon 2 years. So, if you were to look back in these 2 years of trying to build a new sort of niche tech brand, right? What are your sort of key learnings, and what are sort of the things where you think, I don't want to do that again?
Yeah, there's definitely two things.
Okay.
So the first thing I would say is to always keep your leaders and your colleagues informed of what you're trying to achieve. So get that buy-in. For me, it was, bringing the company and the leadership team and everyone up a notch on what are we trying to achieve in marketing? What is modern marketing about?
Yeah.
So when you talk about lead generation and all of the stuff you're trying to achieve, let them understand that it's a reason why you keep talking about these things and put it into a context. That has been
stakeholder buy-in, pretty much, right?
Stakeholder buy-in and understanding of marketing in the organization overall, because everybody's got an opinion about marketing. So that is one thing, and the other thing is to really get the data side going. So when I got into Ardoq, there wasn't much data at all. So really kind of getting the analytics up, so you can have those good conversations. And I feel that with, especially working with sales, you always, on the marketing side, we always say, that sales always push you on, we don't have enough leads. And when they have enough leads, they're like, oh no, the quality is not good enough. So, and we're all going through these things. And when you have that data, you can actually have those discussions based on trust. So you can say, okay, this is what we see. And then you can actually drill down and get into the pain points of why is this not working.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you can have those good conversations about content, when you speak to the leads, why they're not reacting in the way we want them to do. So yeah, that is a massive learning point as well.
Very cool. With that, Sigrun, thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here. Please check out Ardoq, have a look at what they do and how they do it. Very interesting company, one to watch, extra cash infused, so they're going to grow really fast. And with that, thank you very much, and looking forward to the next Brand Couch. And with that, bye-bye from XY01.